budget and your investments. Every year, investors are very much uh, interested in knowing what are going to be the budget proposals. And based on that, some investors also create their positions in a sense, they purchase the shares, and most of the time, budget comes in a different way, different from their expectations. Let's see what has happened in the past. Of course, we are celebrating 21st year of Smart VRC. So the first, starting with the poll, and the forthcoming budget will be favorable for the stock market. What do you think? I will initiate the poll. So you have to reply. You have got three options: yes, no, or we can't say. Well, results are very interesting. As much as 61% of the participants believe that the forthcoming budget will be favorable for the stock market. Yeah, that is very good. We shall always be optimistic, and more so for this time because of the COVID. There are high expectations from the budget. Okay. Now there is the BSE Sensex from last 30 years, 31 years. And as you can see, there are many ups and downs. But once again, we cannot pinpoint at what point of time the budget was presented, isn't it? So as far as the long-term movements, stock index movements are concerned, budget has hardly any indication from the graph. We are not in a position to make any judgment at which point of time the budget was declared, and hence we can assume that the movements before and after the budget or on the day of the budget have hardly any impact on the long-term performance of the index and hence the stocks. So these are the past budget dates from last 12 years, from 2008 to 2020, a very interesting data. This has been sourced from Capital Line and Business Standard Research Bureau. Now, as you can see, there are two data. Now, the first column is the date, and then the second column represents the volatility and the third one is how much it closed with respect to previous day. Now, as you can see from the last column, most of the times it is negative. During the budget day and at the close of the budget day, the Sensex was in negative zone. compared to the previous day close. And as far as the volatility is concerned, volatility was very high for the year 2009, July 2009. It was 8.2%. And the index closed 5.8% down. 5.8% is a big number in terms of the percentage. And there are a few more observations. Intraday swings were varying from 0.8% to 8.2%. Intraday swings means the top and bottom on that day, on the budget day. Now, if we compare this with the present Sensex equivalent, then it means intraday swings varied from 370 points to 3,800 points. Okay. Change from previous day close varied from 1.8% to minus 5.8%. In terms of present day Sensex equivalent, this means from plus 830 points to minus 2,680 points. On the downside, it is 2,680 points. 10 times out of 16, Sensex closed negative, as we have seen in the chart. Most of the times it turned to be negative at the close, and on most occasions the mood was gloomy on the budget day. 10 out of 13 times Sensex gained till next budget on net basis. So on most of the occasions, budget day occasions, Sensex closed negative, but on the contrary, on most of the times, budget increased after the declaration of the budget till next budget. That is, for the next 12 months, there was a net increase. So as such, if we see this data, this observation, budget has hardly any role as far as the index returns are concerned. Swings changes on the budget day are unpredictable. Yes, you cannot predict. As we have seen, there are many ups and downs, and you just cannot predict what is going to be the budget. Means the index on the budget day. In majority of the cases, market forgets the budget implications within a week. Yes, within a week, market forgets. And we will definitely see why it happens so. Despite favorable or unfavorable budget proposals, the leaders remain the leader. Leader, when I say leader, means a leader in the sector. Like in FMCG, Hindustan Unilever is the leader, right? In HDFC Bank, in banking sector, HDFC Bank has remained the leader, come what may. So the leaders have remained the leader, despite many times the budget may be favorable to them, or many times it may not be favorable, but still they remain the leader. And no company has ever vanished due to budget proposals. It has never happened. Basically, you are betting on the management of the company, and management will find the way for growth. Whatever may be the budget proposals, whether it is positive or negative, management is always on the lookout for the maximization of the bottom line, the maximization of the profits. Ultimately, what matters is the financial performance of the company. And when the management is bent upon to increase the profitability of the company, then definitely performance will come. And when the performance comes, share price has to rise. To give you one example, during last 1 week, market is very subdued, as we all know, and Sensex during intraday, it went up about 50,000, and now we are down by about 7 to 8%. And during this time, one of the picks given by us under the product Smart Gains was Cosmo Films. This was advised on 18th of November, Advice price was 439 and last closing price was 510. It has achieved the target. Not only it has achieved the target, it has shot up way beyond the target. The reason is the financial performance. The company has declared the results for the third quarter about a couple of days ago, and share price has moved up from about 445 levels to 510 levels. And during the same time, Sensex change is only 5%. So what mattered is the performance, the financial performance of the company. Although the markets are down during last 4-5 years, but this stock gained handsomely about 15 to 16% within a matter of days, just because of the financial performance. There is another example, and that is Semco Pistols. This is also performed, and price change is plus 19% when the Sensex change during the same time is minus 3%. So what I have been repeatedly advising the investors is to bet on the company. It is the company's financial performance which will deliver you the results, not the Sensex. Now, finance minister is basically, we can say, the part of the management, with head as our prime minister, and there is a portfolio of ministers, and finance minister can be termed as CFO, who has all the powers to implement changes even between one budget and the next one. So you might have observed, post-COVID, many changes have been brought, not only in terms of the stimulus, but also in terms of the taxes on the oil, on petrol and diesel. So it was no less than a mini budget. So one should not be so much concerned about this yearly budget, because there can be many mini budgets in between. Here is a video clip.
And they're off in the Kentucky Derby. And it's joining the dancers racing for the lead. Musket Man has some early speed on the inside. Here's Regal Ransom with some speed as well. Beneath the Twin Spires the first time. Regal Ransom and joining the dance will vie for the early lead. Pioneer of the Nile is right up there. And then it's Papa Clem down toward the inside. He's now fourth. Desert Party forwardly placed fifth on the outside. Flying Private is sixth. Freezing Fire in and among horses is now seventh. Musket Man is eighth. Dunkirk is ninth on the outside. Then farther back down on the rail, that is Atomic Rain, running in the 11th position, 2 lengths back, and General Quarters is now 12th. Nowhere to Hide is 13th on the outside. Westside Bernie is now down toward the rail. On the outside, at the back of the pack, beginning to move up now, is Hold Me Back. Advice is also right there toward the back of the pack, along with Chocolate Candy, Summerbird. Advice, the last of them all, is Mr. Hot Stuff. So down the backstretch run, or even be well behind the rest of them, is Mind That Bird. So down the backstretch run and join in the dance. An impudent long shot leader here, 50-1, taking the field through an opening half mile. That was strong, 47 1/5 seconds. Regal Ransom is third. On the outside, Pioneer of the Nile. Now Garrett Gomez asking him for a bit more. He's right there. Third on the outside. Desert Party is now fourth. Hold Me Back fifth toward the inside. Papa Clem threads his way through horses. From sixth now, Musket Man is now seventh. Chocolate Candy is beginning to come alive now, and he's eighth on the outside. Then down toward the rail, it's Advice as the field turns for home. Top of the stretch, it's still joining the dance with a tenuous lead. Regal Ransom and Pioneer of the Nile strikes the front just outside the 8th hole. Musket Man is coming hard down the center of the track, and Papa Clem's right there too. Down toward the inside, coming on through. That is Mind That Bird now is coming on to take the lead as they come down to the finish. And a spectacular upset. Mind That Bird has won the Kentucky Derby. An impossible result here. And a three-way photo for second among Musket Man.
So what is your observation? Track is same for all the participants. Let's have a poll. So 91% of the participants say yes, the track was same. And yes, I do agree with you. The track was same. So what made the difference? So what made the difference? The winner was the one with, and once again, and the last poll, and there is going to be very interesting. Option 1 is the strongest horse. Option 2 is the smartest jockey. And the third one is the perfect blend of horse and jockey. The winner was the one with what combination? The strongest horse, the smartest jockey, or a perfect blend of horse and jockey? Yes, still 25 participants are there. Please vote and we'll enjoy. There is nothing to be right or wrong. What matters is what the learning we get from such videos or from such sharing. Okay, very interesting. 88% of the participants say that it is the perfect blend of horse and the jockey. All right. So that is the learning, and that stands good even in stock market. It is not only the company, but you also need to have of equally smart and strong management. So why investors fail? Most of the time it is because of the emotions. Yes, during our last webinar, we found that majority of the investors have assigned the reason of failure as the emotions. So emotions means the greed and fear, and greed and fear from the market, from the stocks one owns in the portfolio, from the portfolio itself. So there are three variables. It is the portfolio, change in the total net returns of the portfolio, change in individual stock returns, and these two are the inside the investors. Third is the outside, and that is the market. So, and also, if one is able to this whatever you are seeing on the screen is to get success in stock market. Apart from that, one need to do lot many other things if one wants a financial freedom. And considering all these three variables and also the financial freedom, we have prepared lots of videos, lots of small modules to impart the knowledge, to share our wisdom, to share our experience. This is a small video about our product Smart Insights Pro. So this was all about our product, Smart Insights Pro. As far as the subscription amount is concerned, it is very, very small amount, varying from 1,400 rupees for 1 year in portfolio management to 2,900 rupees for 1 year in stock research. Yes, successful investing entails a fine blend of art and science. Exactly what we have seen in the race course. You need a strong horse and equally smart and strong management. The perfect combination of that and the attractive valuations makes the stock a winner. So what we observed is the track is same for all the participants. All the participants can go to the inner track, inner side of the ring. There is no preference or no reservation for any participant. Environment is same for all. Okay, if it is sunny, then it is sunny for all. If it is raining, then it is raining for all. It is the perfect combination of horse and the jockey that matter, and same holds good in the corporate world, right? If there are any proposals in the budget, then those proposals are same for all the players in a particular sector. All the financial environment provided by the government is same for all the participants in a particular sector. It is the smartest management with good company fundamentals who will win the race. That is the point I want to make. So this is what we have considered winning company. Now there is another small video, and that is going to be very interesting. Watch it carefully, and then we will have a small discussion on this too.
Field of 13 that are all in line. We're ready for the start. Improbable restless in the starting gate. Mike Smith and Improbable settling down. They're off in the Preakness, and the maiden Pony Express lost the jockey at the start. Unseated John Velasquez right out of the gate. So Warriors Charge will go out to the early lead as they come through the stretch for the first time. Market King is away running in second. Another Twist of Fate is third on the outside, and behind them is the Maryland horse, Always Mining. War of Will is fifth and down on the inside. And then it's Win, Win, Win. There's a break of another two back to Improbable, who's racing about 7 lengths off the lead early on. Then Bourbon War, followed by Owendale and Signalman to the outside, and the loose horse is running in behind them. The two trailers are Ever Fast and Laughing Fox. 22.5 with a swift opening quarter mile as they head on to the backstretch where Warriors Charge leads the way. Market King is second, and then it's another Twist of Fate third on the outside. And they complete this first half mile in the Preakness in 46.16 seconds. Tyler Gaffleone has War of Will fourth at the rail and 4 lengths off the lead. A similar trip to the Kentucky Derby right behind the pacemaker. And then comes Always Mining.
So, what were your observations? It was very interesting. There was a horse without a jockey. And what was the position of this horse? As you might have noticed, that horse was running at a position third from the last. And it was not running on the inner side of the circle, inner side of the ring. So despite running outer side of the ring, it was third from the last. Without a management, how a company will perform? So the message is, even with the management, some companies' performance was far deteriorated one compared to the company without management. So there are some managements which run in the opposite direction, which run bit very slow with respect to the industry average. So you have to be very careful with respect to the management also. You need a good horse, and also you need a good company, good management of the company. In a Sensex, it is a kind of a race only. and there are 30 stocks in the Sensex. And as we all know, that index is derived from the weight average of the stocks in the Sensex. And behind each stock, there is a company who is a leader in their respective sector. So if you are a rational investor, when I say rational, means what is right and what is wrong. If you stick to it, then you are ahead 97% of the investors. Yes, it is the rationality which plays a very crucial role, of course, along with the patience. And one should not act on the emotions, but one should act rationally. So whatever may be the budget, if you have picked the right stock, if you have picked the right management of the company, and if you are rational, then you are a winner. So after this presentation, there will be a question and answer session. You can write your questions in the chat box, or you can even raise your hand, and I shall ask you to unmute yourself. Thank you. Thank you very much for sparing your valuable time. Okay. First, I am looking at the chat box. There was an echo voice. Okay. Interesting question about horse and jockey. Can we map this to a company like CG Power that was being managed, or rather mismanaged, by the Thapas and not taken over by Margupa Group? Right, you are right. But let first the results come in, and then only we can make the bet. Okay, can you please share the list of company which can be next era stocks? So being a professional advisor, we cannot share in the open forum. And of course, at times we are disclosing the names of the companies, and in the forthcoming webinars, we are going to share one stock which is probably going to get you the highest returns. I cannot say highest, but one of the best returns in the next decade. Yes. So which is the emerging sector in India? Of course, it is the technology. Both jockey and horse need training. How do we ensure it? Yes, there are ways to ensure that the management is right. You can look for the statements made by the management in the past and how the company fared with respect to those statements. And as far as the company is concerned, from the past performance, you can really make a good story. You can make out how the company is performing. Okay, any more questions? How to evaluate a good management? So we have taken a lot of lots of webinars on this subject, and also the under Smart Insights Pro, we have a category of stock research. There we have dedicated a couple of videos on assessing how the management is, how to rate the management. Does HCL and FLA can give 25% carbon over 3 years horizon? Of course, HCL Technologies, if you are talking about HCL Technologies, then it is a good company. And we expect maybe 25% is a bit on higher side. Between 15 to 25%, yes, it is possible. And another one is from Neerav Shah. I am looking for buyback. I am looking for buy stock like Infi, TCS, and Wipro for 15 to 20 years. Please suggest. At the present juncture, I would like to move with Infi and TCS, and maybe I would wait for Wipro to deliver a better performance. Okay, and any more questions you can write in the chat box. What about Laurus Labs for long term? Okay, I would not like to go with Laurus Lab for long term. Preferably, I would wait because the company has delivered exceptionally good performance during last 1 year, and whether it can sustain such performance is a question mark. Because if it is yes, then why not? Previously, it was able to deliver such performance, and also the government's PLI scheme for pharma and APIs, that is very positive for the company. But better at this juncture, I would not like to put a weightage of more than 3% in such counters. Any view on PSU banks? In general, I don't prefer PSU banks, or for that matter, the PSU companies, because when the competition arrives in their sector from the private companies, then they are really in trouble, and we have seen many times in the past. So for the long term, we cannot invest in a PSU. You have to be very, very careful. Please inform which is best cement stock for investment basis. Of course, we don't share such things. Specifically, avoid asking the stock specific questions. I would be happy to show you the way to pick the multi-baggers, but during these webinars, I would not advise the stocks. Okay, with this, we come to the end of the presentation.